it's me, Jordan, aka Mary Helsing, and whew, I am back for the 7th season of What I Got for Hanukkah. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that, wow, this has been the most busy Hanukkah that I have had in years. So basically, this has been one of the busiest Hanukkahs that I've experienced because it has overflowed all over Christmas and Christmas Eve. And currently right now, we're approaching New Year's Eve. So I want you all to take a look at this as part of my New Year's Eve extravaganza Hanukkah special. So let's get started because let me warn you, 2020 is coming, and it's going to be the end of the decade, and 2020 has got some surprises for us. But let's hope that they're going to be good surprises. So, okay, but anyways, let's get started. Now, we're going to first start off with night number 1. Now, okay, this is going to take a while. The first gift that I got right here. Now, I know this might look like I got an ice box for the first night of Hanukkah, but if you look inside, it's a sewing machine. Now, this sewing machine is actually a beginner's version because if you look real closely, there's all like the different sewing patterns and all the instructions on how to do it. And even it comes with an instruction manual. It comes with all the different colors of thread. And it comes with a footstool. And it comes with pretty much everything you could think of, especially if you are an up-and-coming cosplayer. Now, the reason why I got this for the first night of Hanukkah is because I already have become such an expert on doing film and doing painting and even doing cooking, but I just thought, why not discover a new hobby? So this came into my life and I am going to learn how to create my own clothes and create my own cosplays. So this is going to be really exciting for me, and especially I am thinking I'm going to sign up for some sewing classes at this wonderful place called Joann Fabrics, aka www.joann.com. And if you ever go on the website, it has multiple sewing classes that you can actually take, and they come equipped with all different types of fabrics ranging from cosplay to Harry Potter related, and you can buy all these different fabrics so you can make a set of Ravenclaw pajamas or your own little Harry Potter cosplay, or even just Marvel cosplay or Game of Thrones cosplay. And that's what I want to learn how to do. But it's going to take time because I'm going to learn how to start from scratch because fortunately it comes with a DVD that shows how to use this properly. I mean, this is very new to me, but I hope I learn how to get the hang of this. So this is what I got on the first night of Hanukkah. Now let's move on to night number 2, and you're going to be excited for this. So what I've got here for night number 2 is, it's basically kind of like a pseudo-Jewish haul right now. Now the first gift that I got on the second night of Hanukkah is this. This is Fiddler on the Roof, the Yiddish version. Now the reason why this is one of the most special gifts for me is because I have listened to Fiddler on the Roof many times every Hanukkah, and it has really connected with me so much, especially when I connect with my own identity with being Jewish. And I even got to see a Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway, and I even got to watch the movie from 1973, well actually from the 70s, I don't know what year, but Fiddler on the Roof has meant so much to me, and it's become one of my second favorite movies next to The Prince of Egypt. So when I got this and I listened to this in Yiddish, this actually blew it right out of the park. And I personally thought that this version was better than the original because in a way, when you listen to this, you already know the lyrics to the original, but they speak it in one of the most modern languages invented by Jewish people. For those of you who don't know Yiddish, Yiddish is a combination of German, Hebrew, and Polish, and all the different Eastern European languages combined in one language. And you might be familiar with some of its slang in Disney movies or many others, like such as Shana Punim or Nakis or Oy vey, like all those types of things. It all comes from this language. This is such an important album is because very few people write in Yiddish anymore, but in a way, they took a really famous, important musical that is loved by millions and use it in the language of the people in the story. So if you are a Broadway fanatic, or if you're somebody who's interested in the Jewish culture, please check this out and give it a listen. It's totally worth it. Which brings me to my other gift on my second night of Hanukkah. This is called The Sisters of the Winter Wood. Now, this is another special one because this book, it tells the story of two sisters who live in a remote village in the Ukraine, and both of them happen to be Jewish, but they find out that both of them have magical heritage in their family. So they go on an amazing adventure to save their village. And this is going to be really good because for years, we barely even got any Jewish representation in fantasy-oriented stories, but this one is almost kind of like they get inspiration not just from the Grimm brothers fairy tales, but also from Jewish folklore. And it's definitely about time that we get more books like this. And even Raina Rosner, she's Jewish and she wrote this book, so I can't wait to read this. So these are the two gifts that I got for the second night of Hanukkah. And now it's time to move on to night number 3. Now the first gift that I got for the third night of Hanukkah is this thing, this really heavy thing called a mortar and a pestle. Now, you feel how heavy this is? Yeah, there's a reason why I can't film over there because I would, God forbid, crash this. This is a mortar and a pestle. It's been used to grind up all different types of herbs, whether it's for incense or for cooking or for just simply making tea. And what I have is lemongrass and cloves and dried up ginger root. And with this, I can actually grind some of that up so it could really dissolve. I tried making some Asian soups lately, and some of the herbs didn't quite soften up. So with this, it would really like grind it all up into like delicious powder, and this would help you scrape out the powder. And sometimes this could be used for just simply chopping up like little hard parts of the herb. And the best thing about it is that it's actual granite, hence why it's like so heavy. Like you could tell by the weight of this. And it's one of those fragile things because they're one of the most heavy tools that you could use in your kitchen. And the reason why I'm glad that I've got this mortar and pestle, which it almost kind of looks like it could be used by our ancestors, is the second gift for the third night of Hanukkah is this. This is the Wizard's Cookbook. Now, for those of you who don't know, I love to cook. And inside, there are so many different recipes that are Harry Potter related, Lord of the Rings related, Chronicles of Narnia, and even fairy tale related foods that take place in the Grimm fairy tales or Disney or The Wizard of Oz or Roald Dahl's The Witches or anything in particular. And even the underrated fantasy franchises get recognition too, but some of these dishes and these recipes are so delicious and so unique and different that I just can't help but have to cook some of these. And which is why I have some of these sticky notes, because some of these could be very doable. But another thing why I love this is that so many of the pages are so lovingly shot, and I actually have a couple of cookbooks. Like there's one where I have like a restaurant cookbook where all the pictures are so lovingly shot, but I have like a Harry Potter cookbook, but it doesn't have any pictures, whereas this one does. And I'm so proud that I have this book. And this, even if whether you're like a Harry Potter fan or a Lord of the Rings fan, this is the best book that you could definitely do, because you could create anything out of this, especially if you want to like celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or even Halloween more especially, or if you want to have like a little movie marathon, whether it's Disney or a Harry Potter night or a Lord of the Rings marathon. This is the book to check out. So you gotta check this out, and I'm so thankful I got this. Now let's move on to night number 4. And the first gift that I got for the 4th night of Hanukkah is this, A Geek in Japan. Now let me tell you something. I have asked for this book for years and years and years, every Hanukkah. And to this day, I have finally got this. Now here's one of the reasons why this book is so important to me, because I myself happen to be a really huge fan of the Japanese culture, and not just for the anime. I love it for the food, I love it for the music, I love it for the fashion, I love it for the culture. This book is technically supposed to be a guide to helping you understand Japanese culture in a nutshell. And it doesn't just cover the basics, it covers pretty much everything. And the thing what makes it so great is that the way they show the pictures is that they do it so beautifully done. And they don't try to like go towards the stereotypes. They try to like include everything about the Japanese culture. Another friendly reminder is when you go to Japan, one rule that they left out is don't be Logan Paul. Just saying. Like when you go to Japan, don't be Logan Paul. I will never be Logan Paul. I love Japanese culture, and I will treat it with the respect it deserves. Thank you, disembodied clapping noise. And I can't wait to read this, and I can't wait to learn so much from this. Which brings me to my other gift. So this lovely piece of art is called a kimono robe, but actually it's not really a kimono. Really what this is a kimono robe. It's not really the same as a traditional kimono, because if you ever really look at the real kimonos, there's layers and layers of robes and dresses and fabric, and there's a lot of huge belts that wrap around it, because they're really meant to be mostly for solemn occasions like tea ceremonies. But this is very similar to a yukata. Yukatas are mostly meant to be free-flowing and casual, and a lot of people wear these mostly at festivals, and they happen to have festivals every year, not just Halloween or Christmas. They have festivals in the spring, they have festivals in the summer and the fall, and sometimes the winter, and some of them can be a little strange, but some of them can make sense. They're so amazing, and I really love this kimono robe or yukata robe because I love the patterns. I love that it has peacocks. I love the color purple. I love the flowers. It's so comfy, and it's very much like loungewear, and I dig it. I dig it so much. So these are what I got for the 4th night of Hanukkah. Now let's move on to night number 5. And the first gift that I got for the 5th night of Hanukkah is this Studio Ghibli t-shirt! Ah! Okay, since I'm a huge fan of Japanese culture, and since I said I'm a fan of anime, Studio Ghibli was the reason I got into anime ever since I was 10 years old. And the reason why this is such a classic is because you got all of the characters from every single Miyazaki movie and Ghibli movie in existence. You have Totoro and his other little Totoros. You got No Face, you got the Kodama, you got Gigi, you got Princess Mononoke, you got little Ponyo. And if you look closely, they're inside a little bento box. And it's so cute. And as a Studio Ghibli fan, this really means so much to me. And I will wear this every day of my life. Like how much I'm wearing like the No Face t-shirt. Because I am a dedicated fan to Hayao Miyazaki's work. And this means so much to me. And I really love this. And the other gift that I got for the 5th night of Hanukkah is this. The Art of Miyazaki's Spirited Away. Okay, now I'm trying not to contain my excitement, but this book is such a masterpiece. Ever since I was 10 years old, I remembered seeing Spirited Away, and I remembered it scaring the crap out of me, but also it blew my mind because it showed this level of animation, and you see how much commitment was put into this. And the reason why this book is so special to me is because it shows how they put together this amazing, remarkable masterpiece. Not only did they start out the film with so much level of technology, but they even start their concept art in watercolor first, and then they had to do all of the paintings first before they make it into the detailed masterpiece it is. Every page you turn, it's so sleek and smooth, and you really kind of see the amount of detail that is put into it. And the best part, like here's the scene with No Face chasing Chihiro down the hallway and vomiting as he goes. That scene still scares me to this day, but it's the fluid animation is what makes it so beautiful. And also, the best part about this book is that at the end of the book, you get the script of the whole movie. So if you ever are a fan of the movie and you like to read scripts, you can just read it and you could just visualize it in your imagination. And I love reading scripts, so this truly is a special gift for me because I love Spirited Away, and it's in my top 10 favorite movies, and hopefully in my top 10 favorite animated films, because this book is a masterpiece and it really showcases why Spirited Away is a work of art. So I'm glad to have had this. And now let's move on to night number 6. And the first gift that I got for the 6th night of Hanukkah is this movie called What We Do in the Shadows. Now, as you know, I'm a huge fan of vampires, and I've always loved all of these different vampires, such as Bram Stoker's Dracula, Interview with the Vampire, and yes, even all the different types of vampire movies that make you feel scared. And yes, Van Helsing is a guilty pleasure of mine, so there you go. But when this movie came along, this movie is actually supposed to be a fake documentary about 4 vampire roommates, and they document what they do in their lives. And what it is, it's meant to be kind of a comedy, and it stars Jermaine Clement and Takia Waititi and a few other people, and this won awards at South by Southwest, at the Sundance Film Festival, and at the Berlin Film Festival. And the thing that makes this so funny is that there is such dark humor, there's subtle humor, and there's sort of like relatable, awkward, silly humor. And you expect this from vampires, because the majority of the time vampires have in humor are usually geared more towards kids, hence the Count from Sesame Street or Hotel Transylvania. But when this came along, this really changed vampires entering into adult humor, and it really followed with this amazing TV show spin-off, What We Do in the Shadows, with my favorite vampire character, Nadia, who is my spirit animal. But this movie is really funny. If you ever saw it, check this out. And also, it's directed by the guy Taika Waititi, who you might recognize as Korg from Thor Ragnarok, who also directs the movie too. So check this movie out. Also for night 6, I got a Rocky Horror Picture Show t-shirt. There it is, there's the logo, and here's The Sexy Lips by Patricia Quinn, aka Magenta. So I'm actually glad I got this because as usual, I'm a huge Rocky Horror fan. I've always loved the movie. I love the sass in it. I love the comedy. I love the audience participation. And I always love going to them every year for Halloween. So this would save me enough time for trying to put together a costume, and it would just I would just like go in as a fan, because for those who haven't seen Rocky Horror, they're called virgins. Me, I'm no longer a virgin anymore, so I have the right to wear this because I've seen it since I was 16. And I love this, and the detail in the t-shirt is like so crisp and clear, and it just makes me proud to be a Rocky Horror fan. So that's what I got for the 6th night. And for the 7th night of Hanukkah, I got this, the Dark Crystal t-shirt. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Dark Crystal is said to be one of the movies that was a game changer for Jim Henson's career. And this is the movie that really started his business, Jim Henson's Creature Shop. What makes this film so brilliant is that, unlike the many times that he would always do Sesame Street and the Muppets with all their cuddly looking puppets, in here he does photorealistic puppets and super detailed and really scary puppets. Like, he could go from creating the Skeksis, from the Gelflings, to the Uru, aka the Mystics. I actually got a chance to watch this movie when I was 15, when I first started YouTube, and I found this movie and I was partially scared, but partially really fascinated at the amount of detail that was put into this movie. And I could definitely understand why a whole bunch of 80s kids who have seen this movie might be totally scared of the Skeksis, aka this guy right here. For those of you who don't know, this guy is the Chamberlain, who is basically the shadiest dude in the world. He looks like he's trying to say, Gelfling, please, give me $1. I need to go back. But anyways, this is actually really cool, and I just recently became a fan of the Dark Crystal because of the movie, and also because of the recent prequel Netflix TV series, which is on Netflix right now, and you gotta check it out if you haven't seen it. So this is great. I can't wait to wear this. And the other gift that I got for the 7th night is freaking Queen! I got Queen! Oh man, you have no idea. I'm a huge fan of the rock band Queen, and ever since I listened to Somebody to Love as a kid, I became fascinated with it. But the song Don't Stop Me Now was what solidified my love for the band itself, and I love listening to it every time when I want to feel pumped up for something. And I can tell that a lot of the Queen fans who are watching this video are just all like, we are the champions, because we are. All Queen fans are champions. And the one thing I really love about this is that it has the logo that comes with it, and the logo is so iconic and badass, and it shows that they have balls, because they're all about victory and like we're all in this together and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I love Queen so much. They're my 2nd favorite rock band next to Pink Floyd. So I'm glad that I got this for the 7th night. And finally, for the 8th night of Hanukkah, what I have here is this drone. One of the reasons why drones have become all the rage nowadays is that what you use this drone for is that you use it to shoot video. So this drone actually comes along with this remote control, and what you could do with this is that I could connect with an iPhone and it would dictate how I would direct the scene. So in case if I want to do an overhead shot that flies around, but it only lasts for 15 minutes, and I would actually be able to record what is on the iPhone and it would capture the footage on the drone. Since I am a filmmaker, I am glad to have got this because this is going to help me enhance my professional filmmaking career. So in case if I want to do a commercial for a business, I could use this to pan away the doors of a shop, or I could use it to like overlay the customers that are going inside the shop or something. And I mean, there's a lot I could do with this drone, or especially if I want to go to a convention and I want to capture like the moving crowds or capture the whole spectacle of it all, and it would make it really epic. Unlike extremely expensive drones, these wings are made out of rubber and they're not made out of hard plastic. So I could have a lot of practice with this so it won't crash on my first day of trying to use it. So I'm going to take care of this drone for as long as I can, just like what I did with my laptop. It's an Apple and it lasted for 9 years because I took so much care with it. I'm going to do the same thing with this too. So over time, if I get more and more cameras, they'll look more epic over the years. So I can't wait to use this. So now that I am done with all of my gifts for Hanukkah, let me show you some of the gifts that I got from my friends. So the first gift that I got is from my dear friend Annalise, and what I have here is called a Himalayan salt lamp, and it's actually the salt from one of the highest mountains in the world, aka the Himalayas, aka Mount Everest. And it's actually said to give off natural ions, which are said to like heal you and really give off positive energy. And I really love it. And ever since I plugged it in, it really like gave off such a warm, cozy vibe to it. You can actually dim it however you want. Like take for example, like you see how I dim it just to make sure like it goes very quiet, or if you want it brighter, you can always like switch to brighten it up, and it almost just looks so powerful. Like it almost kind of looks like it's a giant crystal, which is so gorgeous. So I thank you, Annalise, for this beautiful salt lamp. And the other gift that I got from my dear friend Annalise is this batch of white sage, and what this is used for, it's said to like give off positive energy, and you light it to like bring positive energy into a room, and you kind of like smudge the place. This actually gets rid of negative energy and it brings about positive energy, and it's almost kind of meant to be like a ceremonial incense, and it brings a lot of good luck charms and a lot of good stuff into your life. So I'm actually glad that I got this, so thank you very much, Annalise. I'm gonna like take these and bring lots and lots of positive energy into my room. So thank you, Annalise. And the gift that I got from my dear friend Ian, aka Dark Blade Crystal Heart, is this cuddly niffler, and I named him Oliver. Oliver Helsing. After Mary Helsing, since I'm Mary Helsing, I thought, why don't I give a little pet niffler and name him Oliver? But his full name is Oliver Jamie Helsing. So he's a very patient, well-behaved niffler, and he loves money, and he loves storing it inside of his little pouch. I really think the nifflers are one of the cutest creatures in the Harry Potter world, or the Fantastic Beasts world to be exact, because they're just so like adorable and mischievous, and they're just cuddly, and I kind of preferred them over the porgs from Star Wars because they're just so much to hug, and I could like hold on to him if I ever feel scared or alone or nervous, and he's a good comfort doll, and I really love that. So thank you so much, Ian, aka Dark Blade. Thank you so much, and I hope you have had a great Christmas.
I cane him.
And so that wraps up for all of my gifts that I got for this Hanukkah, or actually this Hanukkah season. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, even though like the holidays are almost closing in and a new decade is about to arrive. So I know every one of you feels a little scared, but don't worry. Let's just hope, knock on wood, that the new decade will be kind to us. And we'll be kind to that decade too. So, Happy New Year, everyone. And I love you. I love you all. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you on the other side.